Welcome to Unraveling Midlife. I'm your host, Sarah Spence. This lunar month is the new moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius tends to be a busy season, emerging from the hidden depths of Scorpio out into the world, full of socialising in the lead up to Christmas and countries that celebrate it. Having gone deep in the last two panel discussion podcast episodes, with plenty to consider with the feedback I've received, this update is fairly short and sweet, and quite light. Festival season is starting, as touched on in a panel discussion on power, ethics, facilitation, and the one on trauma-informed consent. But in terms of actually getting the festival season started, I was honoured last month to play music at a brand new festival. It's called Spring Festival. It was a couple of weeks ago in the Bay of Plenty here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. We had brilliant weather, despite thunderstorms until early the morning of. I lay in bed going, oh my gosh, I hope the rain stops. So I packed my gumboots and then I completely ditched them quite early on for sunscreen and bare feet and a new skirt because I'd overdressed, as the sun blazed down on us. And a song from this performance I've included as the original music contribution for today's show. I'm really looking forward to the rest of festival season. It starts pretty soon, just after Christmas. I'll be on the road to some of the New Zealand summer festivals, and I'm excited about who I might meet and potentially interview for the show while on that journey. I'm playing music and offering dream workshops at several of these festivals, so come and say hi at the very least at Resolution, New Zealand Spirit, Evolve and Earthbeat. And I might pop into some others as well. I've got some on the radar. A couple of months ago, I did a solo podcast on various things health, and I had a check-in on the weekend with my trainer / naturopath to see how I'm doing. So things are going pretty well. This topic was fully covered in episode 22, so I won't recap too much. But really, it's the first time I've ever lost weight and haven't immediately put it back on. I mean, maybe saying this a month before Christmas is tempting fate, but I'm finding that I've actually changed my habits. And it was no mean feat. Like how I'm shopping, how I'm cooking. Wow. It was a really, really big change, but I feel so good. The home workouts I'm doing, been getting my body much stronger, but the most important thing of all is that I'm insulin sensitive rather than insulin resistant, and that's the important thing. I got a few big high fives at the way my hormone levels presented, some apparently difficult for women over 40 to achieve. I just said, well, body, thank you. I figured there wasn't much use in getting an ego trip about it, since there are all sorts of factors I don't have control over, like genetics and what my parents fed me when I was in utero and in my early years. As part of my check-in, though, I also learnt another kind of new interesting item of interest. How many times can I say interesting? As I learnt that the recent research from Japan and the US has shown that hand grip contributes greatly to the state of the central nervous system. So how strong your hand grip is. So I was handed a hand grip gadget to hold on to and grip as hard as I could. So what surprised me was that being right-handed, my left hand was actually stronger. Maybe it's because I left mouse, I don't know. It also highlighted where I have more work to do, because my scores were about like 61 and 63. And the best range for women only started in the 90s. So clearly my nervous system has a little bit of strength to build in terms of grip strength. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. That said, I've had sore wrists for some years. I used to wear kind of wrist wraps when I was going to fitness classes. I was always using handles when I was doing press-ups and generally avoiding weight on my wrists. Even, like in a cat-cow, I'd have to be a bit careful. But because of the workout I've been doing and I've been practicing, when I remember, gripping onto the weights, and okay, I haven't been doing a huge amount of press-ups, but I can tell that my wrists have got a lot stronger because they're not sore when I do other things. And so I'm pretty happy because it's good news all around. My back is not sore. It was sore for a year. My wrists aren't sore. My knees seem okay too. Yay. And if you're a person like me who keeps hurting themselves over the years, or even if you're someone who just doesn't get to do much movement, if you can even carve out a little bit of time for a really easy workout at home. I know it's hard to get into the habit, and I know that a lot of people are a lot busier than I am in terms of having that time that they can commit to that, but I highly recommend it. I feel so much happier, healthier. And then, okay, maybe a little bit of an ego trip. Someone commented on the state of my shapely arms recently, and I was like, okay, I'll take that. Yeah, I think we can all appreciate, even without research, though of course there's research for it, that as you get older you do lose strength, and so let's get strength oriented. Of course, health really is the most important thing we have, and I think we've all realized that over the last few years. So I'm aiming for great hand grip strength to keep my nervous system in check, and I'm continuing to aim for health even through Christmas party season, through festival season, through going on road trips. So, touch wood, and I am physically touching wood as I record this. The next check-in I do about this will be just as positive, and I'll still be feeling great. So I'll move on to the music. I told you it was short and sweet. Today's music is a satire piece that I wrote at the beginning of my astrological midlife. So it was over a New Year's holiday in early 2017. I have posted a video of this a few years ago on Facebook, and there were a couple of people who took it seriously. But it is a satire piece, and I wanted to share it again because you can hear the words a lot more clearly than on that recording that I'd posted a few years back. Unfortunately, the guitar accompaniment isn't very audible. I'm not sure what the sound guy was doing, but I think he walked away. But the words are the most important part here, so I'm sharing it anyway because why not? What I like about the recording is that you can hear the bits where people are actually laughing, which is really why I like it, because I think it's funny. Enjoy. I used to call myself a hippie.
I used to do yoga every morning, do a headstand at work without any warning to get rid of hiccups, and photos were shared, although a bit embarrassing, I didn't really care. I'm not sure when it happened or when it started. My obsession with things Eastern gradually departed. An early adopter in my 20s, gluten-free, made chai from scratch, vegetarian. Then suddenly spirituality and chanting became like KFC, and everyone was having almond turmeric lattes. Naturally, the traditional special qualities had gone from fillet steak to new age fast food, and I sorely needed a break. I used to call myself a hippie, chanting om and feeling trippy. Grow my gorgeous armpit hair, wear crystal earrings, go to psychic fits. And I'm a homeowner now, and though I still don't vote national, my life seems to be becoming ever so more rational. I catch myself judging the young and stereotypical when so recently one myself. How hypocritical. I like to think these days that I'm no longer a hippie as I carefully paint my eyeliner, apply my favorite lippy. Perhaps I see more clearly now, or was it just a phase? Or maybe I'm just getting old as I notice kids these days. Yes, I like kombucha, but it's just another drink laden with sugar, and I'm addicted to that already. But here it's just disguised like a hard-to-get booger. Yes, I like organic, or at least I like to try. But spray-free's so much cheaper at the farmer's market where I buy. Did I mention this was satire? I used to call myself a hippie, or tie-dye, went skinny dipping, decorated flowers in my hair, hugging trees everywhere. And so I make my way into middle adulthood, aiming to leave behind beliefs of how I should be or how anyone else lives, being wrong and trying to make sense of this growing up in song. I ask my friends how, and I look at my parents and my colleagues and my bosses, and I do a quick compare and figure no one else has a clue or knows what life's about. We're all faking it until we make it, of that I have no doubt. I've learned a bit since I wrote this song. Yeah, I like group hugs and the idea of cuddle puddles, but they tend to happen late at night when my mind is in a muddle. I'm asleep already, 'cause I'm really a daytime person. I'm not into dancing hard or going on a mushroom picking excursion. Not after dark, anyway. I used to call myself a hippie, talking chakras, tantra, kundalini. Wander freely without underwear, looking for my twin soul to create that perfect pair. I used to call myself a hippie, chanting Om and feeling trippy, grow my gorgeous armpit hair, wear crystal earrings and go to psychic fairs. I used to call myself a hippie.
Unraveling Midlife is brought to you from Aotearoa, New Zealand by www.sarahmarlowspence.com. Theme music is by Sarah Marlowe Spence and Sarasvati Marie Willis, and art by Samantha Hepburn.